Good morning, all the participants. Good morning to this knowledgeable Sunday morning. All right. And let me just share one quick thing with you. The other day, one of my very old friend asked me, nowadays due to this lockdown and work from home, there is no excitement left for the Sunday. All right. And I said okay, no problem. I'll share one link with you, and I'm sure this will make your Sunday always excited. So I have shared basically the link which is there. Santosh has shared with all of us. That is this webinar link, and I'm sure he'll be participating today for this session. So these Sundays are always excited. Okay, and the sessions are organized for us by Samruddha Bharat Sangh and LEXGENUS. All right, so it's really something exciting for the people who wants to have the knowledge about lots of legalities, and lots of topics are also getting covered here, so it always adds up your knowledge, and it always helps to solve some basic doubts also if we have. So really wonderful sessions, and I always say this, that I personally really enjoyed a lot. So, like every Sunday, we have one person who's gonna do this presentation for us, and trust me, the person is really very handsome, who's there on your screen right now. I'm talking about Advocate Amit Matkar. Has joined as a partner for LEXGENUS firm, and he has a bachelor's degree in commerce and law as well. Amit has around 8 years of experience in corporate level work experience, I'll say, in litigation as well as non-litigation profiles, which involves the drafting of all types of commercial agreements. A core area pertains to handling Consumer Protection Act, Negotiable Instrument Act, Legal Metrology Act, Trademark Act, MOFA, and RERA Act. Okay, so Amit is gonna do this presentation for us, which is about will and its registration part. But before we could start this session, I have few instructions for the viewers. This session is organized by Samruddha Bharat Sangh for the legal awareness and educational purpose. This session will be recorded for the educational purpose. This will be uploaded on the YouTube. Okay, for those viewers who wants to refer this, session one more time. The next session, which will be there, which is going to be about the cooperative housing society issues on parking. Okay, so I will request the participants to please register themselves on the link given in the chat option, so that the upcoming all updates, you will have it over the email, and it will be easy for you to block your day, right? So I will request Amit to please start this session. Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
thank you, Audumbar. I would also like to thank my SBS and LexGenius team for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge on the importance of will and its registration. So today in this sessions, I'm going to cover the importance of a will, structure of a will, then registration of a will, whether it is a mandatory or optional. Then what are the conditions to be satisfied to the registrar by the testator at the time of registering the will, and how to register a will. So, so why? So going further, we are going to see what are the 7 top reasons to have a will. Why one should have a will in during his lifetime. So first and most importantly, if you have a will, you can choose who gets your property, whether it's your family, a charity, a friends, whoever you get to pay. Second, you can choose who administer your estate. If you have a trusted friends or a family members, you can pick who is the personal representative or a manager of your estate in a will. Third, a lot of people don't realize that in your will you can designate who you want to take care of your minor children. Fourth, You can save money by making things simpler and designating who is going to be your personal representative. Fifth, it save time. Six, you can avoid dispute over your estate by making your wish clear. And seven, you avoid a burden on your survival to determine what you wanted to say happen with your estate. Some people might have a differences of opinion as to what they think you want. So these are the top seven reason to have a will, and why one should have a will during his lifetime. So these are the top seven reason one should have before going to the drafting a will. So will is a governed as per the Indian Succession Act 1925. In this act, there are certain legal terms which will help us to understand the will very easy. So first definition is will. Will means is a legal declaration of intention of the testator with respect to his property which he desired to be conveyed after his death. So underline this sentence, after his death. So prior to that, that will cannot be executed. Next is a next definition is a testator. Testator is a person who makes an executed will. So it is called a testator. Next definition is beneficiary. Who is a beneficiary? Any person who can be a beneficiary, which who is listed in the will and is entitled to receive a defined portion of the testator's assets or income. So income is whatever. Next is a executor. Executor is a person appointed by the testator to handle the division of his assets. It's like a trustee, or you can say. Generally, it is advisable to have a more than one executor, because once he dies, once one of the testator is die, executor is die, then then other can be execute the will. So there is no hurdles on execution of the will. Next is a probate. Probate is a certified copy of a will. So there should be a registered will is available, or a will available, because without that it is not possible. So it's a certified copy of a will under the seal of the court of competent jurisdiction with a grant of administration to estate of the administer the estate of the testator. So there should be a valid will for that probate. And next definition is an administrator. Who is an administrator? Administrator is a person appointed by the competent authority to administer the estate of a deceased person or testator when there is a no executor. So underline this, no executor. Suppose testator does not appointed the executor, then that time beneficiary person can go to the court and take the order from the court and the court will appoint the administrator in this case when there is a no executor appointed in the will. And last definition is a codicil. Codicil is the document, legal document which amends or adds to the will. So these are the legal terms which are mentioned in the defined in the Indian Succession Act. Going further, we understand the what are the important feature of a will. The first feature of a will is features of a will is a will can only take effect when the testator dies. As we discussed earlier, the will can only take effect when the testator dies, which means that the properties stated inside a will can be distributed only upon the testator's death, not prior to that. So it is very clear. Next is a test. Next features are is a testator can make a changes to a will during his lifetime. So Just before that, we saw the codicil definition. So testator can change during his lifetime. So any changes, if he forgot to mention any beneficiary, if he forgot to mention uh, assets or any property, he can add, but during his lifetime. Next is a guardians. Guardians can be appointed in a will. And last, a will can be made only in respect of the property which is movable, immovable, or intellectual property, but which is it should be owned by the testator during his lifetime. There are other properties also, like some of the property which is found belongs to the testator after his death. So it is called residual. We will cover this part in the next structure of a will portion. So residual property can be also bequeathed. And one more I have to add here, that tenanted property. Suppose testator have a tenanted property that cannot be bequeathed through a will. So these are the some important features of a will. Next point is, who can make a will? Can a young person major age do a will? Is there any age criteria? So there is no age criteria. Any person, according to the Indian Succession Act, anyone who is a sound mind and who is not a minor can make a will. There is no such a age criteria. Next slide is for the structure of a will. So as such, there is no prescribed format of drafting a will, but there are certain points which needs to be taken care while drafting a will. So first para which start with the identity of the testator. So identity in the sense, the full name, address, and then PAN card details. It should be there of the testator, where he currently reside. That address should be there. Next is the statement declaring that it is his last will. That should be and whatever, and another statement it should be there is to revoke all the prior wills made before this will. So this para should be there on the top. Next, next point, next clause is appointment of the executor and the trustee. So, so in this para, the testator should appoint the executor trustee for his property. So it is advisable always that it should be have more than two testator, because once one dies, the other can execute that will. Next is a payment or liability. So in this clause, the testator should mention all his debt, taxes, or what about the executorship, and and the funeral expenses. Who will bear this expenses? Whatever, how much amount he can save that for that funeral expenses. He can add here. He can open up here and write here. So in this is also a good clause. It should be mentioned in the will. Fourth one is the list of assets of the testator. Is more important clause. The testator should mention all his assets, whether it is movable, immovable, intellectual property, money in the saving accounts, fixed deposit account, mutual fund accounts. So whatever he has to mention in the will while drafting a will. And fifth, foremost important is distribution to the beneficiary. Now, after this mentioning that asset, the testator should mention the how what are the specific distribution of that property, whatever he mentioned in the will. So, and also there is a residential estate also. So what is the residential estate? So residential clause is like a testator can state that the property which is not mentioned in a will, but is found to be owned by the testator at the time of death, is to be distributed in the manner stated in the will. So this is a residual clause which we need to be take care while drafting the will, because suppose if he missed out this clause, and if the property found belongs to the testator, then there might be a differences or the dispute among the legal heirs or beneficiary, whoever the beneficiary in the will. So better to have that residual clause. And last one is the closing paragraph. In this closing paragraph, we should mention the date. Date is an important, signature of the testator, thumb impression, and the witness clauses. The witness signatures, witness address proof also mentioned in that closing paragraph. So these are the 6 points which we need to be take care while drafting a will. So you can next slide. What are the whether the registration of a will is a mandatory or optional? So as per the section 18 of the Registration Act 1908, registration of a will is a made optional, but it is advisable to register a will, because registered will cannot be tampered with and mutilated and destroyed or stolen. So it is a genuine document. So that is why we should recommend to our client to have a registered will. So what and it is also the we can prove the legality of the will also by making a will by the testator in presence of two witnesses, then sound mental conditions of the testator, and other compliance of the legal provision as per the Indian Contract Act. So these can be prove the legality of the will. Suppose in case is there any in future, if there any differences among the beneficiary, so this can help to prove that legality of the will. So once, so it is always recommended to advisable to have a registered will, though it is not mandatory, but it is advisable to have a registered will. Going further, we will see what are the conditions to be satisfied to the registerer by the testator at the time of registering a will. So before going to the registrar office, we should have a signed will, original signed will. So at the time of before going to the registrar office, so there in that registrar office, we a testator should present before the registrar for the compensation statement, along with that original signed will. Along with that, the medical certificate in respect of the mental condition of the testator. Suppose this is required, medical certificate is required for which can prove the mental condition of the testator. Sorry, yeah, because because senior citizens, because it is required in case of a senior citizen who is above the 60 or 65 years old. So it should be always advisable to have a medical certificate to prove his mental condition is a sound. So it is also a requirement of the registrar office. Next is the photocopies and the original of the photo ID proof, address proof. In photo ID proof, you can bring a PAN card, Aadhaar card of the testator. Even the witness also, original and photocopies of the proof of PAN card, Aadhaar card, it is required. And two important things which need to be take care of, that is online e-payment challan photocopies. So this is the registration fees which need to be paid before going to the registrar office. So it is registration fees will be 100 rupees. Then online public data entry. I will cover these last two points in my next slides, and we will going here for we will see how the registration do step by step in our next slide. So so we will see how to register the will. So for this, we need to log in. We need to visit the government website, which is given in this slide, igrmaharashtra.government.in. So for the e-payment and the public data entry. So once you click on this side, now you will see this e-payment and PDE for registration. You can see here the arrow showing here. So so you need to go before going to the register office. You need to take care of this e-payment and the PDE for registration. PDE means public data entry for registration. So going further, we first see the how e-payment we can do. So once you click on the e-payment option, this grass you will it will directly open the grass homepage. In that page, you have to click on the Inspector General of the registration. So you can see here the logo. You have to click on that logo. Once you click on that logo, this screen will appear. So this screen here you will get the two options. One is pay without registration and search challan. So you have to click on the pay without registration option. So once you click on the pay without registration option, you will see this citizens user is a citizens this users option. So citizens in citizens, see, since it is a stamp duty is exempted, and only the registration fees 100 rupees is for this will registration. So you have to choose pay registration fees only, this option. So once you click on this registration fees option, pay with registration fees option, this screen, this form will appear. So in that form, you have to fill up the testator details, and so first is the department details. In that, the district where the property or testator is located means where the property of the testator is located. Sorry, where the property of the testator is located, district you have to choose. Then then in which office you want to register your documents, it is there. So there are certain options. You can register any office which is comes under the your jurisdiction. So you can choose any option. There is no compulsion for this. Then total amount you have to put 100 rupees. Then first party details. So in this first party details, you have to suppose if there is a joint will, you can name here as a first testator. Then PAN card of the pairs, PAN cards details. Then mobile numbers details. So next is a second party details. In this second party, that there should be an there is no second party, but you need to because it is a mandatory. So you need to fulfill here. You need to fill here the beneficiary details. So you can choose anyone beneficiary. You can put here beneficiary name, then the PAN details of the beneficiary. Then you have to put the property details, flat, local roads, area, all the address about the property. If you have more than one property, you can add here. That option will reflect there. Then property value, you can put here as a zero because we are not going to sell or purchase that property. So you can put zero. Then the last one is the payment mode options. So there are three more options, mode option, e-payment, payment across the bank counter. You can, if you choose second option, you have to print that challan and fill and go to the SBI bank counter to pay the 100 rupees registration fee, or you can choose SBI e-payment gateway. So these are two online options, and one is offline options available. So you can choose your bank. There are only the nationalized bank available here. Then you have to proceed further after entering the captcha. And once you proceed, this draft challan will means once you check once you proceed further, you will see the draft challan. So after confirmation, if that information whatever it is reflecting here is correct, you can proceed, agree and proceed further. So that GRN number will generate it. So this is for the this you need to be noted for your future reference. So GRN number will reflect, and the payment challan will generate like this. So you can see here the signature, digital signature. So for the digital signature, you have to wait for the next evening. Otherwise, you can download it whatever without a signature. There is no mandate compulsory for the digital signature. You can need download it for immediately. Next is so this is the process of e-challan, e-payment. So this is a one step before going to the registration office. So first step, I'm I'm completing this. So this is the first step of generating a e-challan. So anyone have any doubt about the e-challan? How some people may missed out some part of that. Then I can repeat it again, or we can go further for the public data entry. Or what is that is our next step. So I
Yes,
think
please go further.
yes. So
Yes, please continue.
so this is we have to take care of. So next is our PD for registration. So first we completed e-payment, and next is a PD public data entry for registration. This we have to this is must for the before going to the register office. Otherwise, you have to pay for the agent to to fill up this public data entry. So it is not a rocket science. We can fill it by your own. So I'm showing you how it is. We can fill it. So once you click on the PD registration option, now you will see this screen. So once you proceed to login, you will see this screen. So in this screen, you have to click on the data entry without login. So here is the option data entry without login. So once you click on the data entry without login option, this screen will reflect. So in this screen, you can see start registration new entry and the modify old entry. So you have to you have to fill up these details, language, district, SRO office, and you have to create your password. And once you done this and click on the start data entry, one 11 digit 11 digit data entry number will reflect on your skill. So you need to note down that number, because why it is important, because if you missed out, or if you have to add or modify your entry, whatever you are going to do, so you can modify it later also, but you need to have that 11 digit data entry number. So once you click on this, once you fill these details of the registration, you can start your registration entry. So first screen will reflect the select the article. So you have to go for the will registration. So you have to fill the you have to choose this article which comes under 63, I think, will. So and then you have to fill up the date of execution, date of presentation, when you have to register your documents. Then market value should be zero, consideration value amount zero, stamp duty there is no exemption, and number of your will, so you have to mention here. And after fill up these details, you have to proceed further for the next step, which comes property details. So in that property, in that under this property details, you have to fill up your testator property details. Is where it is property, which district is property, is her property located, village name. You have to fill up all the property about the details. So this is the property details you have to fill up. After that, you have to fill up the party details. So while fill means you have to mention here the part, means suppose if there is a joint will, you have to fill up the both the beneficiaries, sorry, testator's details here. So his name, um, then his surname, first name, middle name, age, then the his residential address, then identification mark. So these are all the fill. Uh, then the identification means Aadhaar card. You have to, whatever documents you have you choose here, you have to bring it along with the when you going to the registration office. And once you proceed further, this public data entry um, draft will reflect. So once you after the checking the um, information, so you can proceed further. And once in this last screen, it will display all the possible offices where the registration process can be completed. And you can see, you can go any offices of the registrar. There is no compulsion. And so after that, after the completion of this those two process, is that public data entry and the e-payment challan, you have to go present before the registrar. You have to take a you have to make a compensation fee that I'm I have got in my sound state of mind. I'm going to register, or I'm going to make this will. So there is no coercion or anything on me. I'm uh, I'm voluntarily go for the for that will. And you have to provide the medical certificate, photocopies of your ID proof and all. So this is very simple process. But some people while go to the register office, they maybe find some hurdles um, for the um, for registration, or there for that there are side issues, available side issues for the registration. So um, it is very easy, and step by step I am going show you. So that's it for my presentation. And if you have any doubt about registration process or anything about the data entry, public data entry, or generator challan, you can ask me any questions. So that's all for my presentation, and I'd also like to thanks once again for Audumbar and SBS and LEXGENUS team for giving me this opportunity. So I hope this my presentation will help my advocate friends, or any layman persons to uh, to get their registration or will registration easily. Thank you. Yes, Audumbar.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Amit. Thanks a lot. I will request the participants to please ask questions. Unfortunately, we have a time limit, so I will request to ask the question earliest. We have a time limit till 11 o'clock only today, so please ask.
Hi, this is Lal Tejwani.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Amit, for the very good information shared.
Thank you.
I have a question. Different personal laws, like Parsis or Muslims, they have a different kind of an sharing, or uh, they can give their property in a different way. So, is there any particular precautions which we need to take for different religions while making the will?
Yes, means suppose there are different means as per the Hindu Succession Act. There are succession in as per the Indian Succession Act. There are different provision are there. So while drafting a will or whatever uh, so whatever uh, uh, whatever you have to mention in your will, I explain it. What should be the structure of a will? So it is it is as per it is mentioned in all the means it is different provision in the different personal law. But whatever the things you should take care of that. So I explained in this session. So if you want specific means regarding the Parsis law, you have to refer that particular laws.
Sure. Thanks. Thank you.
Hi,
I think,
my name is Rishi. Thank you for a wonderful
Rishi, can you make it
explanation on how
loud?
to register the will. I have a quick.
Hello, Rishi, can
Yeah,
you?
yeah, sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay.
yes, Rishi.
Thanks, Mr. Matkar, for the wonderful, insight on registration process. I have a question now. As we all are aware that there are many, person can keep changing his wills time and again. Now, if there comes a situation where a person has registered a will already, now subsequently after registration of a will, he makes another will, superseding the earlier will. Now that will is not registered. The subsequent will is not registered. In that case, what will be the court's view as to what will prevail, whether the registered will prevail or a subsequent will which is not registered will prevail?
See, that is a question of trial. So you have to registration is a non-mandatory, but you have to prove it which will can prevail. So you have to prove it before the court. So for that you have to file the proper you have to file the proper competent before the competent jurisdiction, and you have to prove your case. So you have to that is upon the beneficiary or who want to prove that content of the will. So it is not I cannot say ki the registered will is valid or unregistered will is invalid. So you have to prove it before the court. So it is up to you.
Thanks for this. And would it be advisable to, in case of a subsequent will, would it be advisable to cancel a earlier document in the registrar office, to suggest anyone that it will be advisable to cancel to avoid any disputes at a later date, to do a deed of cancellation of the earlier registered will where a subsequent will is made?
Yes, it is. There is no such a provision for cancellation, but while drafting a will, you should mention that all other earlier will can revoke, and this will can prevail. So once you register that will, and whoever suppose get that old will and go for the code for the proving that this is one will register earlier and another will. So you can prove that ki subsequent will can be prevailed. So so that is why it is advisable to have a registered will. And you need to take care of while structuring. I mean, while drafting a will, you should take care of that statement.
Thank you very much,
I
Mr.
hope I.
Matsur. No, no, you have clearly answered. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, any other participants who wants to direct questions?
Hello, Amitji.
Yes.
Hello. Is it compulsory for doctor certificate for
Uh,
testator?
yes. As I told, ki for the senior citizens, so it is not a compulsory as per the law. There is no provision for the doctor certificate, and even registered office never ask for that. But if you go for your if your client is very old, and means 70 cross 60 cross, if he cross his age 60 or above, then you have a compulsory bring that medical certificate for stating that he is a mentally or physically fit to depose this will. So it is not a mandatory, but it is a depends on your age of your client. So it is always advisable to have a if your client is a, senior citizen, you should have a um, you should take that medical certificate while before
Thank you.
going to the doctor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other participants has any queries?
Yeah, Amit, this is Lal again, Lal Tejwani.
Yes.
Yeah, most of the time when we see that people want to make the will, they are at the last moment, either in the hospital. Also, they want to want the lawyer or the somebody to come and make the will. In that case, one, what is the option? And second is when a person capable of signing is not able to sign at that point of time, but he is capable of making the decision. In that case, the thumb impression will suffice.
Yes. Thumb impression can suffice.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. And what will be the procedure in case somebody wants to make it in an urgency in an hospital rather than, because most of the times people have not made the will and they decide to do it at the last moment in the hospital. So in that case, if you can help with the procedure, that will be helpful.
Yes. See, in this case now, see whatever the conditions. So what registered is required. Registered is see there are other. I need to mention here that suppose if the testator cannot able to go to the registered office, so it is there are some provision by paying some nominal fees. The register can come to your place and he can register your will. So there are one provision also. So I think it cost around I think 300 or somewhere something. So but another and it all the process will happen in the video conferencing. So you have to shoot that conference video shoot, and you have to get it registered. So there is no uh, there is no such a hurdles of last moment or it is all depends on the your advocate, how we can execute that.
Okay, sure. Thanks a lot, sir. So there's one more thing. We
Yes.
people are nowadays talking about something called as a living will. So
Sorry. Sorry.
people are talking about something called as a living will. So is
Living.
there something living will? Is there something called as a living will which is there? This is something which I had heard, so I just thought I'll
No,
put
I
up the
never
word.
heard about this word. I'm first time.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
but
even
I'll check and I'll revert definitely.
sure, sir. Even I'm checking for that, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other participants has any kind of queries? Please ask. Okay. So thank you very much, participants. If you have any further queries, I will request all of you to please mark an email to LEXGENUS info@legenius.in. All right, and we'll make sure that we'll address your all queries. Thank you very much once again, Amit, for having such a wonderful session with us. And thank you very much to the
My pleasure.
participants also being available there and clearing out your doubts. All right. Once again, thank you all of you. And thanks to Samruddha Bharat Sangh and LEXGENUS for organizing such a wonderful session for us. We will see once again all of you on coming Sunday, where, as I shared at the start of this session, that we will have a cooperative housing society topic which will be discussed, and especially about the parking issues which we all suffer almost on daily basis. All right. So I will request all the participants to please go register yourself on the link which I shared in the chat option, so that you will be having the latest updates available. All right. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank
day
you.
ahead. Take care.
Thank you all.